Here we go. So I'm going to make this video just in case I'm not feeling good tonight. Tomorrow, so I'm going to make it tonight. So, working with rational exponents. Okay? Rational just means fractions. Okay? So, fractions, spelled as badly, as messy as you can. So, what we're doing here is all the exponents we've ever worked with is like 2 to the 4, or 2 to the 6, or 2 to the 1, whatever it is. But those have always been whole numbers. Okay? So now we're going to add some fractions in there. Okay? So we're going to work with something like, what's 4 to the half? So what's 4 to the half, or things along those lines. Okay? So as we start here, let's just think. Let's do a little thought experiment here. Okay? So, let's switch colors so we know we're doing something different. So if we think about x squared equals 16. So we could have something where x squared equals 16. Correct? Now if we wanted to find what x was, we would take the square root of both sides. So that would be square root of x squared is x, and this would be 4. Okay? Now, you guys don't know this because we don't ever write it. But when we do square root, there's actually a little 2 here. Okay? Now, if we go a little further, if we go x to the 3 equals 27, if we want to find out what x is, we don't take the square root, we take the third root. Okay? Now, if we have a calculator out here, you can find your third root. Where is our third root? It's up behind here. I'll hit it here for you. So we go shift, and it brings out the third root, so there's a little 3 in there. Okay? If we happen to be using my most hated thing ever, that being the iPhone calculator, we would go 27. And our third root, we don't have a third root here. So let's erase this. So we'd actually have to go 3, then press this button here that says x square root y, and then 27. Now I don't know how to use this calculator. All right. Oh, sorry. 3, boom, 27. Okay, stop it, calculator. Alright, there we go. So the way you use that, you plug in the number first, you press that button, and you press what root you want, in that case 3. In this case, you can see the answer here is also going to be 3. Okay? So that would be x, because the third root is 3. Okay? Now we could do one more here, where we go x to the 5 equals 32. We take the fifth root of x to the 5 and the fifth root of 32. So I bring up my calculator here. If I go 5, second function, oops, 5, and then 32, that gives me 2. So, one thing we should learn before we go any further than this is how on your calculator to plug in that root. Okay? So if I was using this calculator here, I'd write 32, press this button, oops, 32, press this button, and I want the fifth root of it, so I'm going to press 5. Press equals, which equals 2. Okay? So, So that's what I want you to get out of here. Okay. Now, how I want to move forward is as follows. Just working something in my head right now. If I like how they explain this or not. I don't really like how they explain it, so I'm going to explain it my own way. So, I'm going to give you the rule first. Okay? So if we go up here, if I have, let's say I have this. I'm going to give you the rule here first. Okay? So there's our rule. I'll circle this in my red like I usually do. Then we're going to learn how to use it. Okay? The rule is a to the m over n equals nth square root a times m. Okay? With that in mind, and I'll write it over here. I'll write it right here right now. So I said b, sorry, I did a, sorry. I'll put it right here. So a m over n equals the square root m's up here. Okay? So if we take a look at this line right here, let's put a number in there, square root of 16. Okay? If we kind of list out what this is, a equals 16. Okay? N is 2. Now you're going to tell me there's no m value there, but there is, but we just don't write it. Because if it's a 1, we just don't write it. So m equals 1. So if we kind of work this way, going this way with it, this is our equation, right? If we want to write it as a fraction, we go 16 to the power of 1 over 2. The 1 coming from here, and the 2 coming from there. And 16's right there. Okay? So let's look at this one. If we look at 3 square root 27 to the power of 1, and we transform it into a power, it's 27 to the power of 1 over 3. Okay, because this is our m value. Oops. Oh, there's my highlighter. Let me rewrite this one more time. So, square root, let's color code this. N, A, and to the power of m. Okay? That equals a m over n. There we go. So everything's kind of color coded now. So if we use this one here, this is our a value. This here is our n value. And this here is our m value. So if we were to rewrite this, we would get, if I can color code it all together, 27 to the power of 1 over 3. Okay? I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to make one up down here for myself. So let's go this way this time. Let's make up one that says like, let's do this one. 32 to the power of 1 over 5. Well, you want to write it as a square root. Okay? That's a 5. 5s and 6s I'm really bad at online. Okay? So 32 to the power of 1 over 5. We want to move it to a square root, or a square, and then we move, the number goes inside. Oh my gosh, my mind is elsewhere. 32, okay. The number that's down here becomes the root, and the number that's on top becomes the power. Now, if it's a 1 there, we don't have to write this part here. We can just leave it. Okay, let's do one more here. Let's go. Let me figure what out here first. Let's go 64. Color coded here, so we go 64, 1 over 3. Okay? And I want to see you put it into this. So I'll do this one, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do the next one. So 64 is going to go inside the root. My bottom number is the root we're taking, and my top is the power. Okay? So I'm going to write this one down, then let you figure it out. Let's go with 128, 2 over 3. Okay, so on your piece of paper right now, see if you can switch that around for me. And if you need more time when I'm about to start, just pause the video and then work from there. Okay? So, this here's my purple. This here's my green. This here is my red one. So my answer is going to be 128 goes in there, 3 goes in here, and this is all to the power of 2. Okay, let's do another one. Let's switch colors so we know it's different. Let's go 10 to the power of 4 over 5. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of time here to catch up. If you need more time, pause it right now. I'm going to do the answer in about 10 seconds. Okay, I'm doing the answer now. So if you need more time, pause it and come to it. So there is your purple. Here's my green. Here's that. So my answer is going to be, I always work from the inside out. 10, 5, 4. If you kind of think about it, I kind of work from here, like inside out here, but from bottom to top here. So I start in the bottom and I work my way out. Okay? So now, and I'm going to bring this down here real quick. Let's copy it and paste it down here. So let's work the other way now. If I go with 4, 28, and 3, can you write it as a exponent for me? So let's go with this one now. So if you need more time, pause it. Here's my purple. Here's my green. Here's my red. And I work my way out. Okay, so it's 28 here. 4 is going to be on the bottom, and 3 is going to be on the top. Okay. Let's practice another one. We'll do galaxies. People like galaxy. So what's that going to be? So, pause if you need more time. Where's my purple? Purple, green, and red. So my answer is going to be 100 to the power of 6 and 2's there. And we'll do one last one. Hopefully everyone's rocking and rolling with this. Let's do 6 square root 20. Okay. Don't overthink this one. It's easier than you think. So pause if you need more time. Boom, boom, and oh, there is no other one there. But we know if it's not there, it's a 1. So my answer is going to be 20, 6, and 1. All right. So if you can go backwards and forwards here using this rule, you're good to go pretty much. Okay. The one thing I could give you, this would be like a level 4 plus question here. Let's go for it anyways. What if I gave you this? Actually, I don't like that question I'm going to give you. Might not give that to you. Yes, I will. It's not my favorite question, but it'll work. Let's give you the top of it. So, I'm going to change it up a little bit too. Let's go with like 6 there. So, let's do this question. Right now, before we start dealing with the inside, let's deal with the power of a power. And if you remember from yesterday, power of power is a multiplication. So my next line here is going to be 5. I'm just going to leave the negative out front there because it's nothing changing. On top, I'm going to go 2 times 6. And the bottom is going to be 5 times 6. So down here it's going to be 12 over 30. Then if we reduce it some more, that's going to equal what? By each by 2. 6 by 6, negative 6 over 15. Then if we wanted to, you could make this into a square root. Okay, so that's how you use power for power with a fraction. Okay, I'll finish this off here. I'll work my way up. And there you go. If you want to be extra hard, you could make that a positive exponent. So to make it a positive exponent, you would take it to the bottom. With that being said, I don't think there's any questions like that on your homework. Okay, just look at your homework. Abigail's homework, as we usually do. Actually, Abigail doesn't have her homework there. I'm going to go to my teacher section. I haven't put it in your homework yet. So here we can do this. We can evaluate this with our calculator. So let's do one of these real quick. So how would we do that is you go 64 to the power, which is the y to the x button. Now we can actually do a fraction here. This a/b button is a fraction. So we go 1 over 2. That's going to give us our answer there. Now if we're working on the dreaded machine here, can I even do it on here? This would be 64 to the power. Where's my to the power? Here's my to the power. Then I would need to put in a bracket 1 divided by 2, close my bracket, and then press equals. Okay. See how cumbersome that is compared to a nice scientific calculator? So we know how to do that. You guys can do this. Actually, I'm going to take that off. Okay. Evaluate these. Let me see here. Actually, I'm going to leave this on. I'm going to take away, add with a calculator. Like so. Use your calculator to use those. Okay? The ones I want you to do are really down here. Actually, I can get you guys different question blocks. So let's ignore this last part of your homework. I'm going to get you different questions. Okay, so that's your first set of lessons for today.